Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics and Random. Egberto Will is your host. Thank you so kindly for being part of the show. We are going to have a great show for you today. How is everybody doing? I trust everybody is doing fine. Happy Labor Day. It is Labor Day. It is Labor Day. Anyhow, how is it going, folks? I didn't get an official show prepared today because I had quite a bit of stuff to do. Less artifacts blurring the screen, says AVQ. Welcome aboard, AVQ. Welcome aboard, Eric Hayes. Breach MCP says, I don't see something. What don't you see, Breach MCP? She says, I don't know. I'll keep looking. Nanette Bird Smith, welcome aboard. He says, Michael Rudnan, infuriating. I hear you. Breach, I don't know what Rudnan said yet. I'll read it as I get to the top. Breach MCP said, what are the stars? I don't know. I just set up something on Facebook where folks can give you stars. Now, I know nothing yet about how to use it. They just told me to set it up, and I set it up. Alistair Waters says, hi all. Hello, Alistair. How is my beautiful Alistair doing? Yvette Avery Herod, today is your day, Yvette. Today is the day of labor in America only. May 1st for the rest of the world. But Yvette only, right? Yvette only. There you go. Anyhow, yes, I think I set it up with the stars. I don't know if it's all functional yet or what. Bridge MCP, I don't know about it, right? I just got an email, and just before the show, I started to set things up. Anyhow, who else is in the house with us? Eric Hayes is in the house with us. We also have Norman Reynolds. ¿Cómo estás, mi hermano? ¿Cómo estás, hermano? Bien verte hoy. We also have, who else? Let's see what we got. Okay, did I get to Yvette Avery? Yes, I got to Yvette. I said it was actually Yvette's day today because she's the one who keeps the corporations in check. Absolutely. So anyway, let's get started. Rudnan says, Egberto, this is a long one. The point doesn't come until the end, so I hope you read it out in full. I'm going to stop right there. Rudnan, who taught you about marketing? Don't you know that's what they do on the 11 o'clock news? That's what they do on the 7 o'clock news. That's what they do on the 5 o'clock news. They leave the good stuff at the end to force you to read it all the way or listen to it all the end or watch it all the way to the end. But you know what? You got it, brother. Let's get busy. What is Labor Day and why do we celebrate it? You probably associate Labor Day with sales, family barbecues, and the unofficial end of summer. For most Americans, a long weekend is a much-needed opportunity to reconnect with friends and family and provides a last hurrah before the start of fall. But Monday's holiday holds a much deeper meaning. Rooted in the 19th century fight for fair working conditions, Labor Day was originally designed to honor workers as part of the American organized labor movement. But Monday's holiday holds a deeper meaning rooted in 19th century fight for fair working conditions. Labor Day was originally designed to honor workers as part of the American organized labor movement. Labor Day was first celebrated unofficially by labor activists and individual states in the late 1800s, according to the U.S. Department of Labor. New York was the first state to introduce a bill recognizing Labor Day, but Oregon was the first to actually codify it into law in 1887. Colorado, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and New York had followed suit by the end of the 1887. It wasn't until June 28, 1894, that Congress passed an act naming the first day of September a legal holiday called Improvements in Their Working Conditions. Workers were fighting hard for the 8-hour workday most workers enjoy today, and Labor Day was an opportunity for them to come together to discuss their priorities and for the country to acknowledge the contributions workers make to society. Unions are the backbone of the labor movement. Unions and the labor movement have, through collective bargaining, worker strikes, and political organizing, brought us the 8-hour workday, overtime pay, the 5-day work week and weekends, the concept of raises, healthcare benefits, paid vacation time, paid sick leave, unemployment compensation, child labor laws, the minimum wage, Social Security, OSHA health and safety standards, etc. The labor movement isn't over. Minimum wage as a living wage, single payer universal health care, we still have work to do. You said the best came at the end. I think the whole damn thing was a good piece. I think, given that, like I said, today's a laissez-faire show, I want to thank you for bringing that and giving us some more enlightenment on Labor Day. I did no research on Labor Day today. I had a whole lot of videos to process. So it is wonderful having an integrated show with all of us playing a part in developing a program. So thank you for that. That was enlightening. I enjoyed that. France 24. In Louisiana, the first U.S. climate refugees find new safe haven. Berg is one of about a dozen Native Americans from the Isle of Jean Charles who have been relocated to Shriver, less than 40 miles to the northwest, the maiden beneficiaries of a federal resettling grant awarded in 2016. They are the first so-called climate refugees in the United States forced from their homes due to the consequences of climate change. Yes, these are the climate refugees from our own nation, but this will not be the last story like this because their home became uninhabitable due to accelerating global warming caused by rising sea levels. You're right. It's happening. And you know what's going to be the toughest city to work with? The city where people have a governor that's a climate denier, Florida. All those coastal cities in Florida are currently in severe danger, especially with that shelf falling off of, I think it's Greenland. We're expecting a 10-inch sea level rise. A 10-inch sea level rise may sound like a little, but in high tide, that could be the difference between people flooding, between water getting into limestones and creating further sinkholes, and a lot more. It's real, and it's finally hitting us. Lake Powell is drying up. Lake Mead is drying up, right? And so it is a mess, folks. I just hope people wake up. I just hope they wake up. Michael, task and purpose. The U.S. military running low on howitzer ammo after sending so much to Ukraine. Which one is the howitzer again? I think, is that the shoulder? I don't remember. The Wall Street Journal, citing an unnamed Pentagon official, reported that there are comfortably low levels of 165, that's bullets, 55 millimeter howitzer munitions in the military stockpile. How low? Well, apparently the U.S. has sent over 806,000 rounds of 155 munition to Kiev, and what has left has the DoD worried. I've seen this one floating around the right-wing bubble enough that it go into any newsfeed over the weekend. Aside from training purposes, widening the blast holes down the shooting range. What purpose does this ammo type have in modern warfare as useful for American armed forces? I mean, really, how often are we carpet bombing an area with unguided ordnance? I mean, it's a foolish story, really. Because, first of all, these types of ammunitions are easy to make, first of all, so they can ramp up to however speed they want. What they really want, this is the Defense Department highlighting, we have shortages, to justify later on coming to say, we need a big increase in the budget. Well, you know what? I tell you what was so easy. It's so easy to send billions to Ukraine. It is so easy that Pakistan is having floods. Yes, we need to help Pakistan with the floods. Jackson, Mississippi just needs $1 billion. Jackson, Mississippi needs $1 billion to fix their water plant and make some minor upgrades to the very deficient system. And we create issues. We inconvenience 180,000 Americans. Because we won't give that one city $1 billion or so just to fix itself. But for Ukraine, Biden just said, they need an extra $3 billion. Check, $3 billion. And we don't react to that. I don't care who you are. Like I said, it's always easier to harm a group of people of a particular hue when you think about it. Do you think this would happen in Kingwood, Texas? I don't think so. We have to be honest at some time of who we are, of the things we put our money where we really value things. We assign life a certain value. And if we take a look at how we are valuing the lives of the Ukraine, and how we value the lives of the people in Flint and Jackson, Mississippi, Flint, Michigan, we have some serious questions to answer. I don't know if the answers are kind of nice or what, but the fact that you can send $1 billion like that to Ukraine, $50 million like that to Pakistan, it should have everyone here questioning our morality. It should have everybody here questioning our humanity. Raw story, Florida, another one from Rudnin. Florida parents outraged after teacher tells kids that saying Trump lost the election is an example of media bias. The independent UK Florida school assignment suggests Trump's 2020 stolen election claims word turn goes viral. Ron DeSantis has been claiming that teachers were indoctrinating children. Yep, since he was right at least once. Also, fact checks are often about removal of bias. I don't know if you guys saw one of the newsletters I sent out today. They checked us again. I didn't realize they checked us again, or they fact checked us again. You know how many fact check errors they found on our site? Zero. They claim that we use reputable sources. It went out in my newsletter this morning. And also, while we are very much left-leaning, that the information coming out of Politics Done Right is accurate. The information coming out of egbertowillies.com, which is the overgoverning of Politics Done Right and all the other writings that we do, is very accurate. So, folks, I hope egbertowillies.com, medium.egbertowillies.com, politicsdoneright.com, our level of reliability is very, very high. Okay, coming down. I'm done with Michael Rudnin. Rudnin, I hope you're happy. You got everything. Did I read? Oh, one more from Rudnin. LA Times. Even higher temps expected on Labor Day as SoCal heat wave sets record. California has been experiencing a heat wave for a week now. Temperatures exceeding 110 degrees. Power grid is near capacity. If there's ever a blackout, there will be more deaths. That said, California has had 3,900 heat-related deaths in the last decades. My Aunt Nellie is out in the middle of this right now. Nellies, saludos from Politics Done Right and from your nephew, Michael Rudnin. Okay, continuing. Eric Hayes says, some local Democrats' policy that is faced with truth is it hurts, but they deny it. What hurts? Pastor Ed Young has a church that has a lot of criminals in that church, pedophiles, etc. It was reported in the Houston Chronicle. I reported on that. How dare Ed Young say anything about progressives? How dare him? I forgot to process the video for Ed Young. I hadn't found it. I was supposed to look it up. I didn't. But Ed Young has no right to talk morality, given the evil within his church, given the amount of pastors within his church that has molested children, and when they try to create a registry of all those criminals that have been molesting children, the Southern Baptist Union prevented them from creating a registry so that we know which criminal pastors are pedophiles. Please, Eric, do your homework before you come on ridiculousness. Do your homework. All right. KJP says Biden administration has created 10,000 million. Oh, Karine Jean-Pierre, she has a slip of the tongue and it's, oh, it's crazy. Donald Trump lies and tell you to put bleach in you. And somehow it's no big deal. All right, continuing. Nanette Birdsfit, judge grants Trump's request for special magistrate. Yeah, it's amazing. Let him get a special magistrate, all that good stuff to delay the trial. It's a very young appointed Trump judge. It's amazing how some people can get preferential treatment. Others, lock them up. That's America for you. I mean, Trump, let me tell you something that gets me, right? Trump, we all know is evil. Trump, we all know is a crook. Trump, we all know is a thug, is a thief. He leaves his bills unpaid. He goes ahead and he stiffs lawyers. He creates false universities and stiff people. He does all these things. He raped women. He does all these things. But he is one of those who can get away with it. That is beautiful. America the beautiful. We have some people that have more rights than others. Some people that can take away rights from others, can infringe on the rights of others and not pay consequences. I mean, if we had Donald Trump in a different hue, if we had Donald Trump as a different gender, Donald Trump would be locked up, spit away. And not only would he be locked up, but the disdain that only 60% of Americans have for him would have been near 100%. But some people always get the benefit of the doubt. Some people always get a second chance. Some people always get an eternal number of chances. You know? Anybody with Donald Trump's morals, behavior, illegalities, etc., how could that person even become president of the United States? I tell you how, though. You know, we like to glorify our beginnings. We glorify so much about the United States, and then we see that a person like Donald Trump could become president. Please read Zinn and get it. Read Zinn. Stop glorifying what came before. Donald Trump is just in a list of people who ran this country that has had his morals. His was just on display for us to see it in the 21st century. All right, let's continue. Michael Ren said, Berto, yeah, I don't usually bury the lead, but for that one, I needed the setup. Okay, Mr. Rudnin, now you're going to try to justify how you got us to read the whole thing. Love you, brother. All right, Bridge MCP says, can't believe that judge made the magistrate ruling. She should have recused herself. She should have. E2247 says, independent special master should conduct the additional review. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. Alistair Waters replied to Nanette Birdsfit, not surprised as she is a Trump appointee. E2247's court determines that a temporary injunction on the government use of the seized materials for investigative purposes, but not on the ODNI's national security. I mean, so they're going to protect the national security from Donald Trump, but they won't. They're going to let the investigate, and this is why it's so silly, right? They're going to allow the ODNI to continue to make sure that all the evil with these documents that Donald Trump may have done can be tested to make sure that it doesn't affect our national security. But the part of the investigation that going to assign culpability to Donald Trump for being a traitor is on hold. It makes absolutely no sense. As I said, some people can get away with things. Others never will. It is a shame. It is a shame. It is a shame. Okay, continuing. Let's see. Bridge says special magistrate should be Hillary. Ha ha. Let's see. Egberto, long-range weapon. Howitzer. Okay. Michael Rodden says, as it comes to the first cities that will be inundated by sea level, it's a coin flip between Miami, New Orleans. Actually, New Orleans is under sea level. So whenever their pumps fail, the sea takes them over. As it comes to heat waves, mega droughts, and insufficient water, Las Vegas and Phoenix might be emptied even before Miami or New Orleans go underwater. You know, Rudnin, you may be right about that. I thought about that. Yes, I did think about that. That what's going to happen to Phoenix and Las Vegas and even LA, because LA's water is piped in, right? Northern California has very good water supply, generally speaking, because they are not arid like, let's say, Southern California. Let's see what else we got here. Egberto and all, should there be additional 14 billion to send to Ukraine? Well, they're going to get it. I mean, whether we want to or not, we're going to keep supplying Ukraine with money to give to the Defense Department to build weapons of killing people and enrich the few who own the Defense Department, who own the defense industrial complex, and give weapons to the Ukrainians. You know, these great moral Ukrainians, you know, the ones who wouldn't give the African students free passage out of Ukraine. Seems like they suffer from some of the same illnesses, maybe? I don't know. What you guys think? Anyway, Michael Rodney says, this is a howitzer. Thank you for giving me. Oh, that's what that is. Okay, I do know what. Yeah. Those are what. That is some arcane, ridiculous piece of equipment. Old technology. I imagine they have better guidance to blow the holy hell out of cities, sort of in not the most precise manner. Yikes. Oh, they can build those. Oh, I didn't put it on the screen, did I? Sorry about that, guys. There's your howitzer, guys. That's what Rodnin just sent, and that's what's running out of their bullets. I guess it's sort of like missile type bullets, right? Peggy Lopez says, "Hi all. Cited cases in Trump's judge's ruling are not on point, and this case, should the DOJ do what is next right thing, be overturned in the appeals court? The problem is going to take weeks or months to get that appeal. Our court system is ridiculous." Eric Hayes says, "Should there be money in infrastructure bill for cities?" Yes. Absolutely so. Even the rural areas depend on the cities, but I also think the rural areas should be capitalized as well. But that's not what we do. The rural areas vote for Republicans. They build them nothing because these guys don't live in the rural areas. Hey. But that's why we have politics done right. We're trying our best. I am trying my best to talk to all sides. That's why I did how to talk to your right-wing relatives, friends, and neighbors. I really want to talk to my relatives and neighbors, whether right-wing or otherwise. I really do. I genuinely, honestly, really do. Norman Reynolds says, given the impetus for Labor Day, workers lack a wage that can provide the living and hope for their children. Let's community discussion of a minimum income in support of our children. I am for basic income. I played you guys the interview I did. I interviewed this guy 2 years ago when his wife and himself were creating this documentary. They got investment from various organizations to give a basic income to several families. And all families of every kind. They wanted to see what people did with the money, if they will just abuse the money because it's supposedly free money, etc. And what they found is these people all, not some, all of them, improved their lives and did things to make themselves self-sufficient and better going forward. And their documentary is being cut up and fixed up and all that kind of stuff. But I gave him a second interview, and I think I played that for you guys a couple of weeks ago, right after I got back from Netroot. So basic income is the answer. Basic income and a good, solid social safety net. And I tell you one other thing that we have to give, and back to civics. People engagement in the body politic, also instilling in people's minds the work ethic, either for themselves or to just sustain their family in doing a productive days of work. But making that productive day of work worthwhile, right? So we have purposefully created a dysfunctional society so that a few can enrich themselves with the chaos that is left behind. And those are the things that I try to illustrate with the things that we talk about here. Okay, Eric says, guess 200 million park is needed money in Pelosi's district. It could be. I don't know what it's about. You guys like to cherry pick each particular project, Did we really need to send $3 billion last week or a few weeks ago to Ukraine? I don't know. All right, Judge Cannon is a 45 appointee. It figures from E2247. Peggy Lopez says, Egberto, the reason you are known for accuracy is because of us fans keeping you honest. All right, let me first tell Peggy Lopez something. I'm going to tell Peggy Lopez a piece of my mind. For putting that statement out there, Peggy Lopez, I'm going to tell you a piece of my mind. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. The reason I'm known for accuracy is because every time I screw up, I have the best audience to put me right back in check. So you're right. Estás correcta, mi hermana. Anyway, Eric Hayes says, homework, read the article, but it was statistically factual on policy decisions in Harris County. Look, first of all, I read even stuff from the right, but I know exactly where the right is coming from. Okay, Egberto Willis sent you an email on this. Peeps, this is a 40-minute old movie called The Wave, true story. How would people allow fascism, like in Germany, happen? Teacher does an experiment based on a student question. How did people not know? Gets out of hand, but lesson learned, good watch. And I got the email. I haven't looked at it. Like I said, today I was doing a whole lot of other things. In fact, I really didn't even prepare a full show. I had a video that I want to show, but I knew that you guys were coming with a whole lot of stuff. Eric Hayes says, deplorable. Clinton and current one vilify people. Not deplorable. Again, I'll leave that alone. Tom C. says, by blocking a ballot initiative on abortion, Republicans in Michigan want to deny majority of people right to vote on what government can and cannot do to limit each individual's right to personal privacy. You know, they started this abortion thing saying it is a states' right thing, right? So good. The Supreme Court gave the right wing their wish. Give it to the states. Okay? Now, these different states are coming back and saying, okay, we don't want it to be a states' right, meaning the people in the states deciding. We want it to be the rights of a particular group of elites or Taliban-like people who decide what everybody in this state is going to be all about. If you guys have any doubt, let me tell you something, folks. Let them keep doing this. You remember that blue wave that I'm talking about? And slowly, very slowly, the media, the mainstream media that is starting to say, things are maybe changing. I put it out right there. I know the American people. We are Americans. If progressives and Democrats don't shy away from the issues, if they don't shy away from the fascist nature of the right, if they don't shy away from telling things the way they really are, if they decide to take this election, it will be a blue wave, but you have got to take it. When I say it's going to be a blue wave, that comes with some caveats. That comes with Beto O'Rourke going into rural areas and saying, Greg Abbott is murdering your mother, your father, your brother, your cousin. Not Greg Abbott doesn't want to take the grant that came with the Medicaid expansion to the Affordable Care Act. If he had taken it and not dropped $10 billion on the state of Texas would have had $10 billion more. That's not bread and butter. That's the truth. I mean, he left a lot of money on the table. He left all these people's money on the table. But what Greg Abbott, the ultimate result of Greg Abbott's policies and Dan Patrick's policies is to murder Texans. What we need is our politicians speaking the word as it is. Republicans are dangerous to your health. The Texas Republicans and Republicans in red states are killing you. The problem in Jackson, Mississippi is because Republicans are killing you, including Brett Favre is getting millions of dollars that should have gone to protect the poor. It's not a difficult argument to make. If you want a blue wave, if you want a landslide, like I said, the American people are waiting for leaders. The American people are waiting for politicians who will tell them the truth. And here is the truth. Here is the absolute verifiable truth. Dan Patrick, the Lieutenant Governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, the Governor of Texas, they are causing the deaths of your families. They are the ones that if you get into an accident, you will likely die because you cannot, if you live in a rural area, because you cannot get to a close by hospital because they stopped it from being built or because they caused it to close. Those are the arguments that people understand. Not that, well, if he had accepted the Medicaid expansion to the Affordable Care Act, we would have had the necessary funds to build the hospitals in. No, that is passive. Active is that they are actively and currently murdering you. Are you listening to me, brother Beto O'Rourke? I know my brother who lives around the corner, Mike Collier, is doing it a little bit different, but he's sticking it to Dan Patrick so much that the race has tightened. I may get him on here pretty soon. So we have to, folks, we have to tell the truth in a manner that when that person goes to that vote, a vote for Dan Patrick, a vote for Greg Abbott is a vote that will likely get relatives killed. It's that simple. And we should start having ads that way all over the place. In Chile today, or yesterday, the left-wing constitution failed in a landslide, 62-38. And, everybody want to know why. Even the guys who wrote it, the 38-year-old guy who wrote it comes out and he says, oh, well, we are learning from the people. And I said, BS. You didn't sell this stuff as existential as it really is. In Chile, we had the plutocrats taking over the water from farmers. So we needed to make water rights a right, a human right, not something that can be purchased by a plutocrat. These were things enumerated in the Constitution. Indigenous people got their rights back. But you know how some even fairly progressive Chileans saw it? Indigenous people, we are indigenizing our Constitution, protecting them and not us. When you allow the argument to be us against them, you lose. When it's us, the people, all of us, the ghettos, the barrios, Apalachias, indígenas, everyone, against an economic system that is killing us, that's a together message. That's not a message that's pulling us apart. Gracie Alley, welcome, Alan, welcome aboard. Eric Case, California has more people, of course, they'd use more fossil fuels, of course. Again, some people don't think things out completely, you know what I mean? Bridge MCP, at Egberto Willis, Alistair Eves' birthday shout out. Happy birthday to Alistair. Happy birthday to Alistair. Happy birthday, dear Alistair. Happy birthday to you. And we hope that you get thousands more birthday, my dear beautiful lady. Michael Rudden says, Eric Hayes, right now, Trump and his followers are pushing attacks against the nation's democracy. That is very true. Melanie Keaton is with us from where again? From España, Barcelona. And then let's see what else we have here. Eric says, what a shame is current power pumping money away from Lake Houston, putting us all in peril of flooding. Oh, God. Let me tell you what's interesting, right? I live in this is a quick story that I want to give all of you. This is a quick story. I need to tell you this. I live in Kingwood. And Kingwood is right on Lake Houston. Kingwood and a few other towns. Kingwood and, they're on this lake. It's a lake created to to give Houston fresh water, and it's sort of a recreational lake for just a few. It's not a big lake, all right? There's another lake north of us, northeast of us, called northeast. Yeah, I think it's northeast. Called Lake Conroe, all right? Lake Conroe is where now it's a bigger lake, and I think it's bigger, and you have a lot of wealthy people on that lake. When we get these crazy floods and that Houston is the Houston area and is known for, that lake fills up, and then that lake has to empty out into the river, San Jacinto River, and come into Lake Houston, right? Now, whenever we foresee there's going to be a lot of precipitation or whatever, the idea is that you drop that lake way down so that it will be there to collect the water, so that you don't immediately dump the water onto Lake Houston. And the same applies to Lake Houston. You dump the water out early so that, you can get, this. But the rich people don't want that. They don't want you to have the ability to lower the lake for a few days. Sometimes you get it wrong. Sometimes you don't get the precipitation you expect. So it's a management issue on both lakes, right? They don't want that. So they complain and they go to their councils and they get what they want. And then the flood comes, right? And in the case of Kingwood, they opened up the gates in Lake Conroe because, they're wealthier up in Lake Conroe than they are on the folks who are living on Lake Houston. So when they opened it up, we got a bigger flood than we would have gotten in Kingwood when, I don't remember the name of the tropical depression comes. So what's the solution? They don't want that to happen again. The rich people in Conroe don't want those gates open, and the rich people on Lake Houston don't want that to happen. So you know what they want to do? They added more gates, and that work is ongoing, and I don't know how far they are with it or if it's done yet or I'm not sure. I haven't been following it too well. What I did follow was the whole concept, right? Because what they try to do is divvy out the monies for the high-price homes, etc., and then they don't care about what lives below the river. So they want to put more gates onto the dam at Lake Houston. Let me explain what that means. That means that the people in Conroe can hold on to their water and their high levels on their docks, the docks that go into their homes, and the same can happen here on Lake Houston, right? And then when the flood is coming, if it just comes too big, we just open that other gate, or those other 2 or 3 gates. And these people live happy ever after. They forget that there are people who live downriver. They flood. But those are trailer parks and lower communities and all that kind of stuff. It's okay. Let them flood. Let them eat cake. So now we have a commissioner's court that doesn't only think about the rich people in Conroe or the rich folks on Lake Houston, but look at it as a system. Right? But that's not good enough. We have got to protect the wealthy. So when you hear them complain about the flood district and how they're not doing the right thing for flood, let me tell you what they mean is they're doing things equitably, and that if rich people gonna flood, poor people gonna flood too. If poor people gonna flood, rich people gonna flood too. It's that simple. It is that simple. All right, continue. Melanie Keelan, thank you for those kudos, Melanie. Lee Grant, hey all, man. Robert Davenport, welcome my brother Davenport. How are you doing today, sir? Great to see you. Happy Labor Day. I know you are a fighter in the business as well. Melanie Keelan says, were there any Ask Egberto Saturday? No, there was no Ask Egberto Saturday. I'm going to try to recue it for this Saturday here. I know I've been getting swamped with things to do on the weekends, but I have to have my Ask Egberto anything this weekend somehow. So I'm going to check up all the schedules and then let you guys know. Please, by Wednesday, if I don't have something definite, please force me to do it, guys. I am burning the midnight oil like no other. And it's going to be a little bit worse because I'm going to be having to travel to do the live program at KPFT, and I'm keeping this program because you guys don't want to move to noon. So I am going to go ahead and keep this program going because I love you all. Mike Cisak says, when Egberto is wrong, which is often, he never admits it. Really? All I have to say is, Posse, please inform Mike Cisak that every time I'm corrected, and you can look at the videos, right? When I make a mistake, I have no problems copping to it at all. Michael Redden says, conservatives are against pork spending. Well, I usually support it. If congressmen do infrastructure investment in their own districts, that usually benefits their people. I mean, what else is government good for? I agree. Lee Grant says, Egberto, do you think Biden backed off his divisive semi-fascist rhetoric sufficiently? No, I want him to increase it, sir. Because I want him to tell the truth, sir. Melanie Keaton says, the wave. Let's see what else we got. We got 7% of aid to Ukraine does not get delivered to folks who need it. Soldiers buy their own gear, drive their own cars, and gas. Imagine that. Weapons by Raytheon Lockheed profitable in Ukraine war. Yeah, those are the companies who make the money. Mike Cisak says, the fascist nature of the left, you mean? No, I don't think we have any of us trying to stop people from voting, folks. None of us. All right, let's see. Robert Davenport says, I have to admit Biden made a mistake calling that mega right-wing semi-fascist. They're in fact fully fascist wannabe. In effect, that's what I just told CSAC. I think he should be accurate. They're not semi-fascist. They are fascists. Michael Ren says, NBC News, Biden's soul of the nation speech and the battle against MAGA semi-fascists in America. Reactionary conservatives like Fox News host Tucker Carlson have called on Biden to apologize, but a president's job is to speak aloud on uncomfortable truths. There's nothing semi and MAGA fascism. They are following all 14 characteristics. They are fascists. Punto y final. May Wood says, good afternoon, everyone. Is this a live show? Yes, it is. You don't hear me answering your questions? Or is Egberto getting smart and pre-recording a show so that he can spend the holiday with family and friends? I had this weekend, we went to we had a staycation, my wife and myself, to celebrate our 35th anniversary. She was kind enough to make sure to do it during the weekend so that we could make sure and keep things on schedule. So, you know, when you do this kind of work, this is the kind of work that you've committed to. And when you commit to something, yeah, you take your breaks here and there. But man, is this time not the time to really lay off at all. It's really not the time to lay off. Okay, hasn't Beto done some bad crimes against society? Oh, you got a DUI and something else, you know, but I imagine many of you have. And most of you just did it and didn't get caught. See, I'm not this person that want to throw the book at everybody. The only ones I want to throw the book at are people who who always judge others and never look in the mirror. I want to throw the book at them. But otherwise, I'm very, very forgiving, including for myself, right? Mike Cisak says the political left is fascist by definition. The Democratic politicians and government have been working with corporations, Hollywood, government, schools, universities, and media to impose their ideals against the majority of we the people. You have such a majority of we the people that when you ask we the people progressive concepts, they agree with progressive concepts and disagree with conservative concepts. It's by far. It's not even close. When you ask American values are progressives. You ask them one item at a time. This is not up for debate. Go to any poll, any reputable poll. Go to the one that I just did with Quinnipiac. Go to any one of these polls. Progressive policies have most of the times a supermajority over conservative policies. You guys just don't want to read. You guys want to live in your own land. Go ask the Quinnipiac poll. Go ask what's the biggest poll that there is out that we go to every day. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Michael says, hey, Mike, are we a left socialist or fascist? Make up your mind. Just so you know, fascism is an authoritarian far-right ideology. You know, they try to redefine everything. That's what they think they can do, right? We have documentation that Democrats have worked with such corporate institution. All we got to say is one word, right? Koch brothers. That's it. And Heritage Foundation and Cato Institute. I rest my case. Daniel Edo says, started my online Chinese language classes this Saturdays. Chinese-speaking white people will have a leg up cause the racist Chinese hate blacks more than whites. Ni hao. Xie shen ni. Oh, you are so funny, Daniel. I'll just let those words that you just did speak for yourself. Folks, don't forget, go get your Politics and Right hat at politicsandright.com/store. I didn't even do an ask today. I'm going to do it at the end of the show. I'll do it at the end of the show. Because I'm just having fun talking to you guys right now. I am just having fun talking to you guys right now. You're doing Ask 400, 450 is time. Oh, yeah, Bridge, I saw that. Thank you, my beautiful Bridge. I'm going to do it in a little bit. Let me just get through these questions, play the video, and then I'm going to do it at the end. And I'm doing this just because, like I said, I'm just having so much fun. By the way, we are a republic, not a democracy. We are a representative republic, meaning we vote for people who then execute our laws. Now, the undemocratic part of America is the two undemocratic part of our country is the Senate and by inference, the Supreme Court. Okay? Since the Senate has an outweighing part in creating the Supreme Court justices, it is just as corrupt as the Senate. So whenever we decide to make the Senate, I'm not even talking filibuster. I'm not even talking about quorum or making, whether it's a filibuster safe. What do you call it again? If a filibuster proof. What's that word? Well, you know what word God, sometimes I forget these simple words. You know, I'm going to have to take more of my, those medicines for my mind, you know? All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. I tell you what, let me go ahead and play the video. I want to play a video on because this one hurt me to the core. I want to play this video. I think it's important. Let's go ahead and say, actually, it's not. It's going to be, para ver, I think it's in PDR. I think this is where it's at. Yeah. This is one here. Let's check this out. Back at the University of Texas, I remember folks telling me, oh, you're an import. You're from a banana republic. I also remember them saying all kinds of things about the quality of life in Mexico. Montezuma revenge. You're going to go drink the water in Mexico. And then what's going to happen to you? You're going to get sick. And then today I had to listen to this.
You can shower or bathe. Please make sure in the shower that your mouth's not open, because again, you do not want to ingest the water. Please make sure in the shower that your mouth's not open, because again, you do not want to ingest the water.
Now, let me tell you, being in my little banana republic in Sabanitas, Colón, República de Panamá, or I should say Banana República de Panamá, I never once had to boil what came out of the tap. I never had to take a shower with my mouth closed. Look, folks, if you want to understand conservative economic policies that affect your everyday life, Jackson, Mississippi is a perfect example, as well as that city in Michigan that had lead in its water because the Great Lakes was too good a water source for the people in that city. So they went to the Detroit River. Folks, let's start getting things right. Let's start making sure those who owe taxes pay the taxes so that we can rebuild our infrastructure, so that America doesn't devolve into a third world country. Well, actually, it would be fourth world, because even the third world countries, I don't think they're boiling the waters out of their taps. We can do better. Okay, I got to put a couple of links up, but before I do that, I want to address Daniel Ledo. Daniel Ledo is saying I'm lying about the lake, the $1 million homes on the lake. Daniel Ledo, I mean, he must not be listening. I didn't say these homes didn't flood. Everything just about flooded in Kingwood. Well, not everything. A large percentage of Kingwood flooded. I miss if homes around my house flooded. I was just probably 5 feet high enough so I didn't get flooded. Okay, so a lot of $1 million homes got flooded. What I'm saying is that what they're trying to do right now is to protect those homes so that they flood no more at the expense of others, even as they are able to maintain lake levels for the comfort of the wealthy. I am not lying. I don't lie. I just need to let folks. I just wanted to correct Ledo there right away because sometimes those kind of things cauterize themselves. Folks, please remember to support our program. I'm not going to play the video because it takes too much time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you kindly to support us by getting our books, politicsdoneright.com/books. You can get our books at politicsdoneright.com/books. That is one of the ways that you can support this program. You can also support the program by giving us support at our PayPal, politicsdoneright.com/PayPal, or become what we call a Patreon, politicsdoneright.com/Patreon. Please don't forget that if you are on YouTube, just go ahead and click that join button. Become a subscriber to our a paid subscriber to our YouTube channel. It's cheap. It's like saying I'm going to give Egberto and Politics Done Right a cup of coffee or two a month. I think that is a good. If we could get enough people to do that, there's so much more that we could actually get done. So you can either go and do that by, if you're on YouTube, just click that join button and become a part of the posse, or go ahead and click politicsandright.com/YouTube. Please remember to visit our store, get our hats. The hats and the T-shirts and the hoodies. Later on, when it gets cold in Texas, I'll have the hoodies on while I'm doing the show. Please go to politicsandright.com/store. And again, you can find all the different forms to support us at politicsdoneright.com/support. politicsdoneright.com/support. Let's see what Bridge has here. She puts there, United States District Court, Southern District, Florida, West Palm Division, plaintiff Donald Trump against the United States of America. Thanks for putting that on the screen, or putting that up. Don't have time to put that on the screen right now, Bridge, but thank you. Let me run through real quick. I got 2 minutes to run through and see if there's anything that I quickly need to address, or somebody I need to salute. Gallup and Pew are the two other polling agencies that I was concerned about. And ginkgo biloba is that brain medicine I'd say I need to take more of. Glee Grant says actually progressives and fascists have a lot in common. They both want strong central governments, lots of rules. No, actually, fascist is not about strong central government. It's about an oligarchic government controlled by the wealthy. That's what it really is, brother Grant. All right, let's see. What else we got here? For criminal investigative purposes, pending resolution of the Special Master's Review. Mike Cisak, replying to Mike Cisak, Maywood, is your claim true? Why do leftists want to cancel anyone who disagrees with them? I mean, it's like the right wasn't trying to cancel everything else, right? Egberto, your color scheme today is very pleasing to these old eyes. Your eyes are not old, Peggy Lopez. Your eyes are just beautiful. Let's see what else we got here. Mike Cisak, each time the left, I'm not going to read that one. I'm scrolling down. I'm almost done. Lee Grant says, Jackson voted largely for Biden. Why can't these Democrats run cities manage basic utilities? The basic utilities require infrastructure spending. These cities are not capable of doing that. It's something that has to be done pretty much at the state level with a city of the type like Jackson, Mississippi, because this is stuff that has to be amortized over decades. That's just a simple answer. You don't ask all the new cities that sprung up from white flight around Jackson to do that. They all got a lot of the monies from the government got sent towards them. Again, we can support other countries. We can support military. It is time for us to support human beings. It is time for those who claim to be to believe in family values, believe in life. They're pro-life. That is so far from the truth. It is so far from the truth. The reality is Those people who sing being pro-life, for all practical purposes, are pro-death, and they do it all the time. Greg Abbott and Dan Patrick has killed thousands of Texans. They have maimed thousands of Texans. That's not pro-life. That is pro-death. Pro-life means, folks, next election, like I said, bring that blue wave on, but any blue wave won't do. You need to bring progressives on, and we're going to need to bring whatever progressives we can in 2022. But effective for 2024, we need to dump all of the Democratic neoliberals and bring more progressives into the fold. Thank you so kindly, Bridge MCP. My name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right, and you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out! Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is a progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, progressive, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. We are an independent media outlet that, unlike mainstream media beholden to corporations, we only owe allegiance to you. Remember, you can also send me a tweet at EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.